What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Barbershop Scott here. We are here at Halas Hall. Want to do a quick little, I guess, like game preview of the game on Sunday night. Now, I was about to say Saturday, but Sunday night between the Bears and the Rams, man. So, Bears practicing right now, actually, as we speak. Should have a close to healthy squad. I would expect C.J. Gardner-Johnson to be out there after missing last week, being in concussion protocol. Spoke to Dennis Allen today. DA said that he does have a plan in place to play both Kyler Gordon and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, so that'd be good news for the Bears defensively because they're going to need as many hands on deck as possible when you got this big receiving core coming in and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams for the Rams. Now, I will say it is cold as hell outside, and this is coming from somebody who was born and raised in Chicago and somebody who spent 10 years in Los Angeles. So I know both sides of the coin. Sean McVay said today that he's cool with the cold and that he feels it plays right into their favor. I know gamesmanship when I hear it, and that is bullshit because what I just came out of 2 minutes ago from the practice field was freezing, and it's going to be 20 to 25 degrees colder than that with a lower wind chill and faster wind on Sunday than what we have right here now in Lake Forest. So I don't want to say that that's going to be like the deciding factor because I do believe that bear weather is a tad overrated. And what I mean by that is, to me, weather's only a factor if you're a good team. But good thing for Bears fans is the Bears are a good team, and so are the Rams. This to me is going to be the biggest challenge for the Bears. I think Green Bay was a solid team offensively. Obviously, brought a lot of challenges for this Bears defense the last 3 times they played them this season. But the Rams are going to be a different beast, and I think the Bears are going to play their most complete game to win this game. Obviously, we've been saying for weeks, can't start slow. Really can't start slow this week. But I think the one thing that we do got to pay attention to is if you look at the last 7 games that the Los Angeles Rams have played, they're 4-3 in them, and they haven't been as convincing as you would like to be. They lost once to the Cardinals. Another one with the Cardinals went down to the wire. They actually probably would have won against Carolina if the defensive coordinator wasn't, doing some bozo shit. But, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. I think this week got to put it there. The Rams did find a way to win that game, but I saw some cracks. And I think the defensive line, obviously, is going to have to find a way to get to Matt Stafford. Now, I would expect some blitzing, but Matthew Stafford is incredibly good against the blitz, and he can't make DA in this defensive line pay. So I think that whatever the blueprint was in the second half against the Green Bay Packers is something that I would expect the Bears to try to double down. One thing about it, Matthew Stafford, he is not the best in cold weather and at Soldier Field. In fact, he is 1-9 in cold weather games, including last year's NFC Divisional game against the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a competitive game. Went down to like the second to last play. They put up a good fight, but the Eagles did get the job done. In his 12 career games at Soldier Field, Matthew Stafford has thrown 16 touchdowns and 15 picks. So that's a very interesting stat, something I like to call a fun fact right there. So the Bears haven't had a turnover in 2 weeks. So kind of feel like they're due for one, and I do believe that Stafford, one way or another, is going to give them some. Another focus for the defense, too, is Kyron Williams, the Los Angeles Rams running back, who has had a very solid season for the Rams. But he also succumbs to coughing the ball up a lot. The Bears like to punch the ball out, even, punched out a couple times on Saturday. It probably should have had at least 2 fumble recoveries. Special teams coach Richard Hightower talked about this day when they punched the ball out of Josh Jacobs' hand when he returned one of those kicks, but they did not get the ball. We all know Gervon Dexter could have got one, didn't get that as well. So they're not going to be able to get away with the missed opportunities that they got away with against Green Bay. This is a smarter and better offense than the one we saw against the Green Bay Packers. So I definitely think they're going to have to tighten up a little bit. I think a focus for the Bears also should be the running game. Running game hasn't been as great as you would probably wanted the last couple weeks. Still getting it done. Obviously, DeAndre Swift had a solid game last week, was able to get into the end zone. You're going to need more of that. You're going to need more Kyle Monangai. And the drops that this wide receiving core has had cannot happen this week. You're going to have to be as perfect as possible to be able to win this game. Now, I think a lot of people are expecting a shootout this weekend. I'm not. And I have no actual football knowledge or football reasoning for that. I just got a feeling that Sunday is going to be a funny ass game, and I feel like this is going to be much more low scoring than we expect. I know Vegas has even got the total of like 50 points, which for these two offenses is you would actually kind of think is pretty low. So I've been going back and forth with it all week. I do believe the Bears are going to win on Sunday. I think that Caleb Williams is going to have another great game. This is a secondary that let Bryce Young go crazy on him, and that's no disrespect to Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young is a solid quarterback, and he is much better than I thought he would be this year. But he is not Caleb Williams, and I think Caleb Williams and this receiving core are starting to feel it. Colston Loveland is really emerging as an absolute stud right now. Luther Burden has been great, and I do think you're going to see more of Rome Odunze this week, having another week of practice and having a game back under his belt. It didn't feel like Rome did a lot last week, but he did. Had a lot of snaps, and of course the massive 4th and 8 catch last week that saved the Bears season, to call it quite frank. So obviously there's going to be some issues with the offensive line. Ozzie Trapilio is out for the rest of the season, so up steps Theo Benedict. Theo Benedict has been real good in the run game, which is a positive, but not the best in the passing game. Expect Braxton Jones to be activated. I guess they described him as a break in case of emergency, is how categorize Braxton Jones' involvement this week. But it's really going to take a team effort. If the Bears want to either go to Seattle for the NFC Championship game or host the NFC Championship game, they're gonna have to play their best game on Sunday night. The good thing for them is they will know their situation before the game kicks off, because the Niners and the Seahawks are the second game of the weekend, which is Saturday night, so they'll 100% know. You gotta kind of feel that if the Niners do win that game, that there might be a little bit more juice to know. If we can win this game, we got the NFC Championship game here in Chicago, and you basically get majority of the benefits of being a #1 seed, where the road to the Super Bowl goes to the crib. And Soldier Field's been a great home field advantage. They're gonna need that again, and I expect a funny game. But I'm gonna say my final prediction. I said this on Saturday Night in Halas on Tuesday. I'm sticking with it. 28-24 Bears. I think that Matthew Stafford is going to, I think the Bears are going to get 3 turnovers this week. That's my bold prediction, that the Bears get 3 turnovers. I think Matthew Stafford is going to throw 2, and I think Kyron Williams is going to put 1 on the ground. And I think that you're going to see the most complete game we've seen from the Bears probably since week 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I could be wrong. I have been wrong about this team this entire season. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that shoe is not dropped. So I'm just going to continue to go with the good vibes, and I'm going to say the Bears win this one 28-24. That's all I got for you for this little quick preview here at Halas Hall. Final preparations are being put in for the game. My advice to y'all who are going to the game, I'll be there, but thank God I will be in the press box. So if you're going to be in the crowd, wear some more, because it's going to be cold as hell. It's going to be windy as hell. And yeah, it should be a good game, man. But tomorrow I will be live at 4 p.m. on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. We're going to have the homie Herb Howard. He's going to be joining me, Bang, and Dante, as we'll do even more in-depth preview of the game. But that's my score, 28-24. It's your boy Scott here from Halas Hall, checking out.